The Clippers-Nuggets series was billed to be one of the most potentially exciting series we've had in a long time. And after game one, it looks like they might have been right. However, the way this game started, I was genuinely worried for the Nuggets. I thought maybe they had just held it together those last couple of days during the regular season, and now that they're in the playoffs when it really mattered, when they really had to focus, because when you fire a coach, you're completely changing the culture, the vibe, everything around that team that's been that way ever since that coach has been there, which I think is about a decade now. And you know how people are. People who are holding it together just enough that if you say something to them that sends them over the edge, they're going to lose their mind. And that's what the Nuggets have been giving these last few weeks, right? We've been wondering, are they just going to fall apart at any time, or is that winning streak really going to show what's to come? And with Zubac getting those first 6 to 8 points, I generally thought to myself, this guy, first off, as a Lakers fan, how the hell do we let him go for virtually nothing? What were you doing, Magic Johnson? But also the fact that he's just generally become a really good NBA basketball player. Just looking at him as a Lakers fan, I remember him being so young, just a young guy. And now as a Lakers fan, I look at him and I remember when we had him, he was just such a young guy. He generally was so confused, so lost. And now when you see him, you can tell he's a real man now. He's matured. He generally knows what he's doing. He knows his purpose, and he's a really, really good player. Hit that subscription button and turn on notifications. And it wasn't just Zubac that was getting whatever he wanted. It seemed like the Clippers, every time they came down the court, they just went into the paint, whether it was Harden, Leonard, anyone, Powell, they just got whatever they wanted in the paint at any point at any given time. And even though the Nuggets were relatively staying with them, they had their own hype moments. Aaron Gordon just seems to be, again, a really underrated player. The guy scored 25 points on 14 shots. You could just see that lead slowly widening, and you knew if it kept going like this was going to be a 30-point blowout by the third quarter. But that's not what happened. Let's see us drink your water. Jokic is genuinely insane. That man's footwork is ridiculous. Jokic can do everything on the basketball court at a high level. Even that fast break he led by himself, and you could tell it gassed him out afterwards. That dude can even take the ball the length of the court. I mean, he genuinely has all the skills. And throughout the game, you could tell the Nuggets, they had another gear they could get into, they just couldn't get to it. And part of that being Jamal Murray. I mean, the way the game started, he looked pretty good, but at the end, he was 7 for 20, and that's not going to win you a series against these Clippers. But I don't think that's the type of play that they need from Jamal Murray for them to win a championship. I think a lot of us NBA fans can empathize with this thought. Seeing Ben Simmons on the court and just look so clueless and helpless, it just makes no sense, right? He looks like Bronny James out there, like genuinely just confused. I feel bad for him because it's one of those situations where like you see that really cocky guy in high school who you just, he was a jerk to everyone, but he was the coolest guy out there, but then his life fell apart and now no one likes him anymore. He's not good at anything, and he's kind of nice now. And you kind of feel bad for him, but then you're like, yeah, but you were a real jerk. But at the same time, like, damn, that sucks you fell that far. And it just makes me wonder, like, does Ben Simmons have one more game in him, just one more game where he just explodes and maybe it comes through in a game 7 where they need him more than ever and he just rectifies his entire legacy? Probably not going to happen, but I don't know. It's just crazy to think that they have Ben Simmons, who is potentially just one of the greatest players in the league, and not just for a few years, for a good while, and then he just fell off the I don't know. But if there's anyone that Ben Simmons should be looking up to for a type of redemption, it would be Russell Westbrook. This man stepped up in this game, and it's not even close who was the second most important person for the Nuggets outside of Jokic, at least in my opinion. Russell Westbrook just has so much energy. He's just always moving around. He's always getting those extra offensive rebounds. It really feels like without him, this team would not have the energy it takes to get over the hump after you fire a coach you've had for a decade. Russell Westbrook is the motor of this team, right? Well, Jokic is his team right now, but Russell Westbrook, he's like that nitrous, on the engine. He makes you go. He's gonna keep you going. He's gonna keep you in the race, bro. But he will kill you. He will run everything awry, and he will destroy your entire engine if you overuse him. I just made that up on the fly, and that's actually not that bad. I know I'm being a little bit silly today, but this orange juice is it's really good. With 4 minutes left in the game, you saw Russell Westbrook commanding the entire defense for the Nuggets, and I mean literally talking to every single person on the floor, pushing Jokic in a certain direction, and you recognize this dude is not shy. He knows exactly what he's there to do. He has information to share, and they got to stop on that play. I mean, Russell Westbrook genuinely is a major piece of this team now, and they're gonna live and die by that. You saw him hit that 3 in the corner where everyone was like, oh my gosh, he's amazing, and then at the end of the third quarter, the man doesn't even get a shot off. Like, what was that? It's so funny. You see his teammates, Michael Porter Jr. is like, no, but I can't act mad at you. So like, yeah, and they won. So, Westbrook, he's crazy. I mean, he's entertainment. This is why we're watching the NBA. As for the Clippers, James Harden is playing out of his mind right now. The man scored 32 points on 50% shooting, 11 for 22. The man had 6 rebounds, 11 assists, only 2 turnovers. He had a block. I mean, the man, he was everywhere tonight. He was so important for them. As for Kawhi Leonard, he had a typical Kawhi Leonard Terminator game. He had 22 points off of 15 shots, which is a pretty standard stat line for him, but he only had 2 assists, and there are times where you feel that Kawhi Leonard's weakness is his ability to play make, to get people involved who are around him when he's, backing someone down on the post. If he fails to get an advantage, if he fails to get the matchup he wants, he usually doesn't pass out of it or find an advantage. He just takes that fadeaway, whether it's hitting or not. I mean, most of the time it's hitting. I mean, the guy's amazing, but again, it's just part of his game that he can improve on. Will he? Probably not. He's like over 30, but he could. Chris Dunn's defensive effort. That man was jumping passing lanes before. The man can tell the future. I was genuinely impressed with that man's effort. The hustle plays he was making, I mean, he was doing his best to be their version of Russell Westbrook. There was that time when he went and dove out of bounds. I was just like, damn, are you good? And he just popped right back up, and it's like, damn, this man's, he wants it. And with Kawhi too, it's the first time I've ever seen him annoyed. It was the first time I've seen him break his Terminator character. You could see he was visibly frustrated at numerous times, which he usually doesn't let on. He's usually very, very subtle about his emotions. But I get it. The Clippers had absolutely figured the Nuggets out in that first half. They got whatever they wanted, and then to go into that second half and just not be able to, impose your will as you want, it's frustrating. And it's something they're going to try and correct in the next game, but I don't see how this series doesn't go 7 games. We are going to have one of the best series of our lifetimes. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Clippers-Nuggets series. Again, we've got another crazy day of basketball. I'll be dropping my video of day 2 of the playoffs, and if you want to check out what player has the most to gain in these NBA playoffs, make sure to check out this video right here. As always, I appreciate you. Go out there and do something great. All right, that's enough yapping for today. Almost every one of my channel's viewers is not subscribed to the channel. Do me a huge favor and hit that subscription button. We're trying to get monetized. My dog and I go out there and do something great.